What is the most cringe-worthy thing you did to woo your crush? Posted this a year ago, but the question is too fitting. When I was in 6th grade, my parents talked me into going to a week-long church camp. I knew of, but didn't know personally any of the kids going. But they sold me that everyone would praise Jesus, ride horses, and have a good time. I decided to go. It was like a 6-hour drive in one of those big white vans. Quickly everyone started whipping out their CD cases and exchanging music, and I instantly was like, fuck. I only had 2 CDs, Britney Spears' Baby One More Time and Everclear. I was a really weird kid. Everyone was trying to talk to me about music, and I had honestly never heard of any of the bands they were talking about. I just wanted to jam some Britney to myself. So naturally, I went the elitist route. Said I had all of that music, and I was listening to some new underground private shit they hadn't heard of. Once we get to camp, all I'm thinking is let's find some friends quick, because I can't talk to these kids anymore. I go to the pool and make some friends with a few older kids. There were 3 girls, 2 guys, and me. They were all in 8th grade, so obviously they were really cool. Plus, I thought the girls were really hot. I figured this would be the best time, if any, to get my first kiss. Their windshield wipers were turned up to the maximum with all the game 6th grade me was spitting. We decide to leave the pool and walk around the camp till we all had to have a group meetup. The cabins were separated by grades, so they said they would walk by the 6th grade cabin and pick me up. First thing I do is put on my freshest outfit. Great time to break out my fresh white t-shirt. Can't forget my jean shorts. This was pre-faded denim, so this was the industrial bright blue jean shorts. It's summer in Texas, so I might as well top the outfit off with knee-high white socks. And, of course, for the bitches, Doc Martens. I looked like a weird redneck lumberjack. So I walk out, and they're kind of like WTF. But whatever. It's kiss time. We start walking, and one of the older guys farts and all the girls laugh. Boom. Found my friend Travis, and I have been making fart jokes for quite some time, so I'm up to speed on this area of humor. Bam. The other guy farts and all the girls laugh even harder. Got him. Now I'm thinking all I have to do is drop the biggest fart, and literally the girls are going to laugh so hard they're going to each kiss me one by one. I start clenching and squeezing my stomach as hard as I can. I'm walking like a newborn deer. Then I feel it. Got a big one ready. So, instead of just dropping it out and laughing, I wanted to make a big show about it. I run in front of the small group, squat down, turn just my head around, and forcefully shit myself. This was loud diarrhea. If you didn't know this before, early 90s denim was the least forgiving fabric in the world. Everyone knew I shit. It's running down my leg, being soaked up by my knee-high socks. Instantly, I just react and start running, kicking up shit like mud off a truck. I've never been to this camp before, so I'm just running for anything. I find a bathroom, toss the socks, boxers, shirt, but I couldn't drop the jorts. I can't just walk across the church camp naked. Plus at this point I'm thinking maybe they didn't really see it. I was really confident in my speed at the time, so I was thinking I could say that's my thing. I drop giant farts and run before the smell catches me. Come to find out, not only were the 5 people I shit in front of outside the bathroom waiting for me, but there were like 25 kids. Instantly, I just ran in my docs and jorts combo back to the cabin I was staying in with the other kids chasing me and yelling shit pants. I run to my bed to find all the music nerds I drove up with going through my CD case. It only has the 2 CDs. They're like, WTF, thought you had tons of secret music, bro. Wait, did you shit your pants? So yeah, that was about 4 hours into a week-long trip. I really thought farting would impress these girls. I lost my favorite pair of jorts and pride that day. Edit. Thanks for the gold. For that I will sweeten the story. This was from maybe a year later. HTTP, Imga. She was already in the process of giving me the thanks but no thanks, and in a bit of desperation I tried serenading her with some sweet no doubt over the phone. .18 years later, and we are happily married. To other people. I wanted to be her partner when we got in pairs in Spanish class. I was mentally preparing how I was going to ask. But when the teacher said to find a partner, I just yelled her first name really loud. People stared at me, and she was embarrassed, I think. It is one of those times where I look back and still cringe. I knew which way she walked home from school. So one sick day I wrote I love Heidi in giant chalk letters on the sidewalk where I knew she'd pass. I hid in the bushes, and when she walked by I yelled Luwak Duwan. She promptly decided to speed walk the rest of the way home. I never told her it was me. In HS, we were at callbacks for auditions for the school musical. Girl I was interested in was sitting in a chair backwards, think Axe Slater style, while rehearsing her song. Genius idiot me decides that a great way to grab her attention is to football hike this 32-ounce shampoo bottle at her. So I grab it, yell to get her attention, and hike the bottle as hard as I can through my legs. The bottle hits the backside of her chair. Luckily it wasn't a few inches higher or it probably knocks out a few teeth. Nevertheless, the impact with the chair explodes the shampoo bottle and she is completely covered in Pantene Pro V shampoo. Just minutes away from her callback/audition time. I guess it worked though. We've been together for 12 years now. Married for 3. Pick flowers at night. Put them in front of her door. Not even a note. Or a name. Or anything. Just the flowers. Even denied when she asked if they were mine. Don't know what I was trying to accomplish there. I worked in the office at a construction company part-time at 17. I'm a flirt anyway, but there was one young guy I actually had a crush on, so I always thought he was flirting with me. For his birthday I found a doll-sized truck that looked exactly like his, and baked him a cake shaped like a garage with the truck inside. Yes, it was difficult and time-consuming. Wow, this is amazing. My wife is gonna love it too and probably want to know how you did this. Pro tip, guys in hands-on vocations often don't wear wedding rings for fear they will have to be cut off in an accident. When I found out her college professor was relentlessly hitting on her during class, I burst into her classroom and hit him in the face with a chocolate cream pie. He chased me out of the building and about 2 blocks down the street before he gave up. I made quite an impression. We've been married 30 years. In retrospect, actually not so cringeworthy. In reply to some of the comments, it is actually a true story, but I don't blame anyone for saying it's fake. The professor never connected me to the girl. I wasn't a student there. She fairly freaked out and never told anyone she knew me. I was really into dragons growing up, like really into them. I had a book called Dragonology, which I had with me all the time. In the book there was a language key for dragon runes. Well, me being my sly mysterious self, I wrote her a love note in these runes with a little key on it so she could figure it out. Didn't say it was from me. I slipped it into her locker and she confronted me the next day. I was amazed that she knew the note, the one written in dragon language, was by me, the kid that was obsessed with dragons. Thinking back, I must have come off like a greasy-haired zodiac. When I was little, I saw Ice Age and there is a scene where Digo wakes up and yawns, and since he's a sabertooth, you see his huge awesome chompers. So, my dumbus would sit in my chair, facing my crush and yawn with a giant open mouth, baring my teeth, hoping to woo in my fair lady, but alas, no luck. I wrote him an essay to confess my love to him. 7 pages worth of cringe. In middle school, I had my mom spend $40 to $50 on a heart-shaped locket with her name engraved on it. I still cringe to this day thinking about it. Edit, damn English professionals turned me into a Wincest kid. I tried to impress my crush by showing her my stiff wiener while my mom was watching. Can't remember it though. But my mom likes to bring it up every now and then. Edit, BTW, I was like 5. So much shitty teenage poetry that I thought was deep. Found a couple of them a few months ago and had to resist the urge to cringe my way into traffic. I tried to sing her a song while playing it on the piano. I can't sing. I can't play piano. I just knew the basic tune and knew that the higher notes were to the left on the keyboard. I didn't even know the words to the song. Looking back, it was pretty obvious she didn't even want me to sing to her. She was being polite. Oh god op. Why did you make me relive this memory? I used to text girls to tell them I liked them and then make up that a friend that sent the message before they even had the chance to reply. Left a girl a Valentine's Day card and watched her open it and get so excited, but sat quietly to let another boy reap the reward. Got dumped by a girl and spent the next 6 months calling her in tears. I was just so in love with her and she didn't care. One time she put me on speakerphone in front of all her friends and they took it in turns to laugh at me. I didn't deserve that, but it was the wake up call I needed to move on. Silver lining. In the 8th grade I printed out Green Day lyrics and wrote I love you on the end. Then taped them all over her desk and chair. Somehow, it didn't work out. In 5th grade I was nothing but cringe. He came to my birthday party, so I was in love with him. This wasn't just a crush. I'd had those before. I wanted him in a way I had never wanted a boy before. Of course. Being 11, I had no idea how to handle these new and confusing feelings. I also didn't bathe much because I'm slightly allergic to soap and nobody believed me. So, I sat way too close to him, flowed him around, and wrote his name surrounded by a heart on everything I owned so he could see. I also made several threats towards his girlfriend. If I could, I'd reach back into the past and give young me a good slap. We had a Valentine's Day thing in high school with crush cans. You know, the drink you paid $1 to have a can sent to someone. Orange crush was for friendship, red crush was for love, and purple crush was for, well, a crush. I sent a red crush to my brother because I'm a rude little sister. That was great. Teehee. But then I sent a purple one to a guy I liked, asking him to the Sadie Hawkins dance. I'm pretty sure he was pressured into saying yes, considering the can was delivered in class. Needless to say, he kept making excuses as to why he couldn't go. Sat in a corner and thought really hard about saying something to him. I used to get my friend who had the same classes as her to give her notes from me. This was cringeworthy on 3 counts. Number 1, I had never spoken to her before. Not even a word. Number 2, if I had to send a damn note, why couldn't I deliver it myself by putting it in her locker or having the stones to hand it to her? Number 3, looking back at it, I'm pretty sure he would have read it to everyone else in their class before giving the note to the my crush in question. Now my friends, I'm sure you are thinking meh. Probably everyone did that at some point. Sure, it's a little cringy, but it happens at school. Well, apparently this girl got a bit fed up of my attempts to woo her with my penmanship and in a frustrated rage, called me out in front of a load of people for being such a little wetbag and pretty much said something along the lines of if you can't ask me out in person, don't bother. Now, I'm sure you are all thinking what a result. This guy's crush just told him to ask her out. No, we are forgetting I'm the squeaky voiced, terrified young teen currently carrying more fingers than individual pubes. I bolted in the face of this verbal assault, cheeks reddening with embarrassment. That's not all. I was so upset by this treachery from my crush that I decided to let my outrage be known to her. But of course, I'm still too terrified to speak to her. So I sent her another note with my friend. I bought red roses, got up early, went to her place, and placed 1 rose on her doorstep, 1 on her windshield, 1 on her desk at work, and 1 in her coffee cup. She was a little creeped out. This wasn't for wooing, but I just thought I was being super subtle and discreet when I asked her if I were to hypothetically ask you if you wanted to date me, what would you say? She replied no, and my heartbroken stupid teenage self somehow managed to answer with "Huh. Thought as much. Good thing I never asked you then." I cringe internally every time I remember that. In 1st grade I gave him a love letter asking him to marry me. He said no in front of all of his friends. I was humiliated. Gave him a worm. I was 16. It did not work. I was class representative in high school. and one of our tasks was the class seating plan. So I chose a comfy spot in a corner and put him right next to me. In middle school, I had this serious crush on a girl who was really beautiful and pretty good at academics like me. Every day in math class, I used to finish the problem before her, yet wait for about 10 minutes so that we could both say the answer at the same time. She'd look back and smile at me, and that was enough motivation to continue this tactic for about the next 6 months. I still cringe at this memory,